Welcome to Naresh IT Technologies. This is Sudhakar, and today we are going to discuss about how to work with SQL Server. Okay. In last video, we discussed about the introduction of SQL Server. So, in that introduction part, we discussed what is SQL Server. So, SQL Server is an RDBMS product and which was introduced by Microsoft company, and it is one of the backend tool in the database section. Okay, we are using to develop your backend applications, yes or no. And later we are discussing like SQL Server, when I want to install, I should be maintain Windows operating system. Okay, and that it will be working on only Windows operating system only. Why? Because SQL Server is a pure platform dependent product. So, the platform dependent, independent, what exactly the mean of platform, that all we discussed in the last session, okay, in last video. Okay. So, now today what we are going to do, so after analyzing that all introduction about your SQL Server, then later how I can work with SQL Server. When I want to work with SQL Server, what it is happen internally, okay, I will give you the simple way to understanding manner. Okay. So, let us see now today the session was working on SQL Server. So, whenever I am going to work with my SQL Server, first of all I want to install. Okay. So, now I will give the simple way after installation, okay, or else at the time of installation what exactly it was happened in internally. Okay. So, first of all what I am doing here, the simple way I can go for this, okay, I can go for this here. First of all you want to install your SQL Server software. So, SQL Server software, okay, I will be take, and this software I am going to install now. So, once you are installed, okay, once you are installed the software in the system, okay, at the time of installation only the system or server will asking one instance name. It is asking one instance name. So, in this instance name, whatever the user entered, so for example my instance name I will be give some name here, okay. So, I will give my instance name NIT. So, NIT is my instance name. Instance is nothing but what? Simply we can say instance is nothing but object. Okay. So, how we are creating object to the classes in your front end side like C#.NET, yes or no. So, when we create object to the class, what it is happen here, the objects we are going to creating for the class, for it will allocating some reference memory, yes or no. So, once you create a object to the class, okay, how the system will go to allocate some reference memory to the object for a class, okay. Same to same here also, instance is nothing but I am going to creating one object for my server. Okay. So, in that object what it is here, the which name are you given at the time of installation at the part of instance name, on that name it will be allocating some memory, but the memory will be allocating here, reference memory is allocated here. So, now what I was given here, my instance name I was given NIT. Okay. So, on this instance NIT name, okay, now what is happen, it will allocating some memory. It will allocating some memory. So, this is complete my memory I can say, or else instance memory we can call it. So, this is my instance memory, otherwise reference memory also we can call. Okay. But this instance memory name what I was given here NIT. So, my name was here NIT is my instance name. So, once I was created my instance, then what it is here, some reference memory will be allocated. In this reference memory what I am doing here, I am going to creating my database applications. Okay. So, now after allocated this memory to you, then what I am doing here, in this memory I am going to creating number of databases I can create. I can create your number of databases, not only one database, you can create number of database in the instance memory. Yes. So, these are some databases I was created under my instance memory, yes or no. So, now assume like this, for example, this is I can say database 1, database 2, database 3, database number 4 and database number 5 and database number 6, so and so on. So, like this you can create your number of database or databases, okay, in our instance memory. But in this instance memory, how many databases we can create? If you have any doubt like this, then you can see a single instance memory of SQL Server, we are creating the maximum 32,767 databases we can create under a single instance memory of SQL Server. Okay. So, these are what it is here, the maximum limitations of your database applications. But I said this 32,767 databases are created under a single instance memory of SQL Server. So, that means like this, in one instance I will create 32,767 means in number of instances I can create under my server. So, each instance will occupy maximum 32,767 databases. Okay, this point should be remember, it was happened only one instance memory of SQL Server. Okay, so like that, the how many instance was created in your SQL Server? Okay, in every instance purpose, memory will be allocated. In the memory, you can create maximum 32,767 databases. Okay, so this is one point what it is happened after installation process. Okay, but by seeing this diagram, simply as per my diagram, whatever I am showing to you, as per this diagram, what I can say, my SQL Server is nothing but, I can say it is a collection of databases. It is a collection of databases. It is a collection of databases we called. Okay, why? Because can you see this in instance memory of SQL Server, the total how many databases I created at present means I created 6 databases I created. So, 6 databases I created in this memory means, can I say it is a collection? The collection of databases I was created in this memory. So, that is why what I am saying here, the SQL Server simply we can define it is a collection of databases. It is a collection of databases. But these databases, whatever you created databases, these databases, why we are creating, the database is nothing but collection of different kind of objects. The collection of what we can say, the database is nothing but again the collection of the different objects. The collection of different objects. Okay, the different objects. Those objects are simple, I can say, for example, tables. Okay, I can create my tables under database. Otherwise, I can go to create my views. Okay, otherwise synonyms, otherwise procedures, otherwise functions, otherwise triggers. So, these kind of etc. So, these kind of the objects I can create under my database. So, by this reason what it is say here simply, okay, SQL Server is a collection of databases, whereas database is a collection of different types of objects. That objects are nothing but tables, views, synonyms, procedure, functions and triggers. Now, you can see by seeing this complete diagram, then we will understand one point was clear. What is that point here? SQL Server is a collection of databases, whereas database is a collection of objects. And these objects, whatever I am going to using, for these objects, why we are creating, for example, table was there. So, why we are creating tables means for storing, otherwise loading the data. So, loading data purpose, otherwise manipulation of data purpose, otherwise retrieving the data purpose, I can need or I want to need here object. That object I created here table. So, table is nothing but the collection of rows and columns we are going to designing in the table, and later on we are going to storing some loading data. Okay, and after that processing the data. The processing is nothing but manipulations, okay, like loading and unloading data. So, these kind of operations I can perform on my database objects, but these objects where I created under database I created. Database is where I created under my instance memory of SQL Server. Okay, so this is the hierarchy simply we can remember. Okay, but after I was given like this here, but if user want to interact with my SQL Server to create my required database in my SQL Server, then how we can create? for the creation of database purpose what we need. Okay, so that we will check out now after this. Okay, let us see now. So now when we want to work with your SQL Server, okay, first you want to install here. After installation was completed successfully, then you will be get one tool. The tool or icon you will be get, the tool or icon we called as a SSMS tool or icon are you getting now. So SSMS is nothing but SQL Server Management Studio, and this tool or icon after installation only we are getting. Okay, so once we got this tool, then what it is happen and what purpose I want to use this SSMS tool. Okay, it means here simply I can say that. So SSMS tool is a one of the development or developing. So it is a developing tool. Okay, and by using this tool I can perform the two kind of operations in my server. I will be perform here two types of operations. One is we will be perform CUI based environment operations, and second one we called as a GUI based environment. Okay, so that means you're simply what I'm saying here, SQL Server Management Studio is a one of the developing tool in my database. Okay, so this developing tool will provide two kind of environments. One is CUI environment, one is GUI environment. Okay, but these two environments, either CUI or GUI, these two environments why we are using? So these two environments are required to perform what I am going to perform here, some database operations. Okay, I am going to perform some database operations. So what kind of database operations I can perform? For example, are you creating a table? Create a new table. So if you want to create a new table, I can use GUI based environment, otherwise CUI. Okay, in the same to same. After creating your new table, then what I am doing here, I am going to inserting data. Otherwise, I can update my data. Otherwise, I can delete my data. Otherwise, I can select my data. So these kind of operations I can perform. These are called the database operations. Okay, so these operations if I want to perform, then I want to use either CUI or GUI. Okay, but these two environments, CUI and GUI, these two environments was providing by which tool here? Our SSMS tool. But this SSMS tool, okay, that will be provide two environments, CUI and GUI. But this tool when you will be get, are you getting after installation of SQL Server. After installation of SQL Server. So once you install your SQL Server, then you will be get this SSMS tool or icon, and this tool will called a developing tool, and it will be providing two environments for performing your database operations. Okay, so the database operations are nothing but creating, inserting, updating, deleting and selecting the data from database tables. Okay, so this is one thing what is SSMS. Okay, but this SSMS, if I want to go and click on this SSMS icon, okay, what it is happen next level. Okay, so once are you getting your SSMS icon, and after getting your SSMS icon, if I want to go to click on that, okay, so what kind of the environment will be open here. Okay, but in this environment, what kind of options are there, and each and every option whatever we will be see in this SSMS icon or SSMS form. Okay, the each and every option will be having some reason, the why the people will be select these options in this SSMS form. Okay, so let us see, I will show you one diagrammatical representation. After click on SSMS icon, then what it will be getting. Okay, so let us see now. So now we will see now after installation you are getting SSMS tool or icon. So this icon, once I will click on that, then what it is happen, I will show you in diagrammatically. Okay, so now let us see. So once user will click on SSMS icon, okay, then immediately it will be display one window. The window will be displayed here, and this window name is called as a connected to server. This window name is called as a connected to server. So this window I am going to getting now. Okay, this is my window, and the window name I will be written here, connected to server. So after getting this window, and what exactly the window was having here means, this connected to server window having some options. The what kind of options are there, let us see now. So first option we called as a server type option. Okay, so this is my first option in my connected to server window, and we have one drop down list control. In the same to same, next one we called as a server name, and this is also having some drop down list control. Okay, and next one we have it here, one more option that we called as a authentication, and here also we have one drop down list control. Okay, so after these three options, then we have another option was there, that is called a user name, that we called as a username, and here also I am going to having one small text box control will be there here, and later after that password. The password is also having here, okay, one more text box. Okay, and finally along with these options, finally we have some button controls. My first button we called as a connect button, and next we called as a cancel button, and next help button, and next we have one more option that is called a options button. So this is my window will be display after click on SSMS icon. So once it was click on, then this window will be open. But in this window, what are the options are there, like server type, server name, authentication, username and password. So before I want to connect to my SQL server, so first of all what I want to do, each and every option I want to set. So first I want to set each and every option. After setting each and every option as per your requirement, then I want to go for click on connect button. Okay. So but before I want to set the server type, server name, authentication and how to find out my username and password. Okay. So before I want to set these all options, first of all we have to know the information about these options. That means what is server type? The server types, how many are there in SQL Server? Okay. So your SQL Server will provide how many server types? Okay, what are those? And each type why we are using? For what purpose I want to use each and every type in my SQL Server? That is one thing. And later on what it is here, server name. My server name, how to find out? Okay, in my system. Before I want to connect it to my SQL Server, okay, what is my server name? And this server name, how we can finding? That is one thing you should be know. And the next one, what is here? Authentication. So here also authentication is very important option before you want to connect it to server. Why? Because the authentication will be represented security. Okay. So SQL Server, how many authentications are supported? Okay. Those are what? If I want to go one authentication mode, what it is happen? So that kind of information also we should be needed. And later finally, after getting the information about authentication, then finally we will go for my username and password. So this username, password, who will create it, how to create, and after setting this all the options, type, name, authentication, username and password, finally you can go to click on connect button. So once you click on connect button, then you will be connecting to server. Yes or no? But after connecting to server, what I can do it? Okay, the what kind of operations we can do it, that we will be see in the next level. Okay, but in this level, so now we will discuss here each and every option, we will discuss what is what. Okay, so once you discuss like this, then you will be get some idea what is my server type, what is my server name, what is my authentication and how to get my username and password. Okay, let us see one by one option we will discuss now. Okay, so now see my first option in my Windows, okay, the connected to window. So first option what it is here, server type option we discuss. So here server type, okay, how many types are there in SQL Server means the SQL Server will support the 4 types of services we called. Why we call services means this is not a server, we called it is a services, but every service will act as a server. Okay, so how it will be? Now we can see the first I will give the complete types of servers in my SQL Server. So first I will go to check out one by one. First one we called as a, in my server type, my first service we called as a database engine. First one is what now? Database engine is my first service in my server type. And later we have a one more. The service is called as a analysis service. Analysis service. Okay, and this analysis service the people we called as SSAS also we called. That is called a SQL Server Analysis Service we called. And the third tool, we have another tool that we called as a reporting services. That is called a reporting services. So this reporting services, even though we called SSRS, we call SSRS. And the last one in my server type, that is called integration services. Integration services. Okay, this integration services we called as a SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services. So these are the main the server types in my SQL Server. But here in these three SSAS, SSRS and SSIS, these three tools we called as a, the three tools we called as, these are MSBI tools we called. MSBI tools we called, and to interact with this MSBI tools, I need a separate developing tool. I need a separate developing tool. The tool is called as a BITS. Okay, so by using BITS tool, so BITS is a one of the developing tool to interact with your MSBI tools. Okay, and when come to database engine, so database engine, if you want to interact with this database engine, then we have another developing tool. The tool is called as a SSMS. Okay, so SSMS is a one of the developing tool. This tool we are using to interact with the database engine only. But if I want to interact with the analysis, reporting and integrations, then this tool is not a supporter. So that's why these tools purpose we have a separate developing tool. The tool is called as what now? BITS environment. But BITS environment is nothing but simple, I can say Business Intelligence Development Studio. Okay, so this is one of the developing tool which is used to interacting with the MSBI tools. Okay, so these are the complete the server types in my SQL Server. And now each and every service we will discuss for what purpose the real-time industry people are used. Okay, so that we will see in the next level video. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video.